Good morning. I'll start off with that. So we've got kind of one thing that encompasses quite a few different calls that happened Friday morning. I'll just kind of start wading through these. But the first one we had, first call was about 5:15 a.m. and that was to an apartment complex in the 3900 block of South Terry Avenue. The initial call came in that somebody was trying to take a car. The officer found some keys, and then later they found out the keys had been taken from an apartment that had been left unlocked, so nothing was taken then. But there was a description of the vehicle that left that scene, and then later on they were able to get video of the suspect. So that was the first thing. We had two different calls just about the same time. The first one was at 6:05, and that was for a car that was found on fire. That was in, there is the 1600 block of South Cleveland Avenue. Let me double check. Yep, 1600 block of South Cleveland Avenue. That same car that had been seen leaving that apartment complex was found on fire. And then just about that same time, there was another report at a nearby convenience store where a car had been left running and somebody stole that car. That car then was found at the scene of another stolen vehicle. So this was, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So after the stolen car, that was a Chevy Impala, there was a person that broke a window to a business downtown. This was around 7:30 a.m. at 6th and Main. That same vehicle was seen at that area. And then a short time after that, a little after 8 a.m., that stolen car was left at Russell in Minnesota at a different convenience store. At that time, there had been a Sioux Area Metro bus that was parked there. The bus had been left running. The person that was driving that stolen Impala then got into the Sioux Area Metro bus and stole that bus. The couple of Sioux Area Metro, the bus driver reported it to his supervisor, who reported to police. They were able to track that bus, and they found it near, it was the 4700 block of North Career Avenue. The two employees then were able to detain the suspect, and then it was just a short time after that the police arrived. So once they pieced all that together, there was some concerns or thoughts that the suspect may have been under the influence of some drugs. He was taken to the hospital for evaluation. Once they cleared the hospital, as the officers were putting him into the car, he then tried to run away from the officers. He got a short distance but was caught, and then after that was taken to jail. So we've got a whole host of charges. Escape, that was from trying to run. Fleeing police. We had intentional damage to property, disorderly conduct, 2 counts of grand theft vehicle, 2 counts of possession of stolen vehicle, 2 counts of intentional damage to property, criminal entry of a motor vehicle, reckless burning, petty theft, first-degree burglary, and then unlawful occupancy. Those are all the charges we had. And his last name is Holland, Holland. First is Kenneth, Kenneth. Middle is Eugene, Eugene, and he's 35 from Sioux Falls.
Are you familiar with him in the past?
Let me check. I'm guessing so, but oops. Give me a second, my computer. Yeah, we've had different contact with him in the past.
Okay.
I can't go into the details of that, but yep.
How many vehicles, it started at the apartment complex and he stole a vehicle from
He
there?
drove his vehicle to the apartment complex. He ended up going inside an apartment, taking some keys. He did not steal anything at that. He did not steal a vehicle at that complex. So the keys were found outside. Later they were figured out where they came from. They talked to the owner, who said the keys had been inside their apartment. So That's where the burglary charge came from, the unlawful occupancy charge came from, but he didn't steal a vehicle there.
He just took keys?
He took keys from there, and they're actually left outside in the parking lot.
And then he went elsewhere?
So from there, his vehicle was found on Cleveland Avenue, and then the car was stolen. That was, where did I get that at? The 3000 block of East 26th Street. That's where the Chevy Impala was stolen. So the car was found on fire. Then he went and stole the Chevy Impala from the gas station, broke the window of a business downtown, and then went to another gas station, left that stolen car, and then stole the city bus and drove away with that.
Perfect, thanks, I just needed clarity.
Sure. Yep.
You said he was tested for drugs, but I didn't hear that in the charges.
No, the way he was acting, they thought he may have been under the influence of drugs. So they always get people cleared at the hospital before they'll take them to jail. So I don't know if, I don't have any drug charges with that. I don't think I didn't see anything mentioned about any possession of any drugs. I don't know if there was any drugs in his system or not, but he was cleared at the hospital, and then they were able to take him to jail from there.
It's a long list of charges. It's been a while since I heard one like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Every once in a while you run into that, but for the most part, I'd say most of the crimes, there's, little incidents. This one, we had a whole bunch of seemingly little incidents, but they all wrap up. And I mean, the first report was at 5:15, and then the stolen bus, that happened just after 8, and it was not long after that before he was found. So it's a lot of activity in a short amount of time.
And you said that employees detained him, were they injured or were they okay?
Yeah, no, nothing serious from that. I think one of them had a scratch or something, but no serious injuries with that. Anything else on that one? Okay. Aside from that, I don't really have much on the log. The aggravated assaults, we had a lot of threats, some domestics in there, nothing really significant. The arson, that was a different call. That was some garbage type things that was found next to a school. Some witnesses thought there was some juveniles that started that. Burglaries, nothing else big out of those, nothing big from the disorderlies. Family offenses, same thing, frauds, ID thefts, and reports. Larcenies, didn't hear of anything big from those. Sex offenses are all reports, and nothing concentrated with any of the vandalism. So that's all I have, unless you have any other questions.
Sam, we talk a little bit about what you've seen this summer so far with the motorcycle racing in Sioux Falls.
The motorcycle racing, I'd say it's been pretty par for the course, I guess, so to speak. There really hasn't been a whole lot of change in the behavior. That speeding complaint is probably the biggest complaint that we get at the police department. And the people driving these motorcycles, they're maybe exhibition driving, so loud engine noises, maybe doing like wheelies or stuff like that. Sometimes it's a simulated race where they're driving at a high rate of speed. It may not be an actual race. Other times it may be an actual race. But that type of behavior happens almost anywhere that we can get straight roads. Sometimes it's the outskirts of the town. Sometimes it's the middle of the town. It just happens everywhere. So we've taken a lot of steps to handle a lot of different types of enforcement. Like I said, that's the number one complaint that we get. And so there's a lot of activity trying to reduce that. It's hard to say if we've reduced it, but we're still getting a lot of complaints. And I think it's pretty easy for people to hear at night the motorcycles racing all over town. I'd say most people think it's exclusive to the area where they live in, but the reality is it's happening throughout Sioux Falls.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.